Well, we've gotten our padded practices in. Started in the shoulder pads and got to pop a little bit. So we certainly have gotten a little more work done. I'm excited about the tempo the guys have. They really pushed through. You know, it's kind of starting to get to that grind point of camp where you want guys to push through the pain. A lot of nicks and bumps and bruises. A couple guys banged up. John Atkins had a little bit of a small knee deal, but we think he'll be fine. He'll be back, but he's out for a little while, and that's tough at a position that we're kind of already thin at. But the three freshmen are chugging along, getting more reps. It allows them to get reps. Big thing for John is he's going to have to push and stay in shape while he's not out there with us. But that's really the only injury of significance. Shakiri's working his way back in, trying to take a few more reps. Both the young backs are doing a good job. But it's been good to get out in pads, and you feel like you can find out a lot more about kids when they put pads on than you can in shorts. So we'll be back today in pads, of course, for the fan day, and we're excited about having a big group out there for it and getting to go to kind of a different venue. And it makes it a lot different for the kids. A different routine is a good change up. We'll open it up.
You got any questions, raise your hand. Let's get this floor mic to you.
Just following up on John Atkins, when you say a little while.
Don't know how long. It's really just day to day for us. We're going to find out how long it takes. But again, it's right now it's day to day. We want to get him back out there as soon as we can. But right now he's working in the pool, running, kind of hyperextended his knee, ligament damage or anything. So see how long it takes to get him back out there. He's a kid that knows the defense really well, so it shouldn't be as bad other than the fact we just don't have enough depth there.
Coach, so how does having a offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach like a Jim Chaney, how does that excite you with his history with a quarterback?
Yeah, one of the key reasons I went after Coach Chaney was his quarterback development. You know, I've seen what he's done with the young man at Arkansas, and also Tyler Bray and the Sims kid at Tennessee, and then he had a transfer come into Pitt last year. I think it's Nathan Peterman who did a really good job up at Pitt. So I got a lot of respect for his development of quarterbacks. I've been able to sit in, some of his meetings, and it's very knowledgeable for me as a coach to get better, to hear how he talks to the quarterbacks about the defense. You find a lot out when a guy does that. But he's a great asset. He's a really good leader, and he's doing a great job with the offensive staff, making sure they're organized and have a detailed plan every day.
Hey Kirby, 5 practices in, any impressions of your quarterback's changed as it relates to the competition?
It really hadn't, Mark. I mean, we've been rotating those guys, and we've been spinning them all three, kind of where they, all three get to go with each group. And we're kind of taking it day by day, where one guy gets to go with ones, guy gets to go with twos, guy gets to go with threes, and they all rotate. So that rotation will continue today, with today being the 6th practice. So if you do your math, as you kind of go through, this will be the end of the 2nd rotation. So we're excited to see those guys go out and compete, and we're trying to give them equal reps. It's been tough, but it's pretty balanced up. But I can't tell you that anybody stood out more than anybody else right now. It's too early. They're still in the installation process, where sometimes that can be overwhelming. And kind of the second time you go back through the installation, you expect it to be a lot smoother. Because now it's not only it's the second time this fall, but it's really the 3rd or 4th time since the staff's arrived.
Coach, when you first took over, you mentioned that you wanted to get bigger and stronger. Have you gotten any closer to that goal?
Well, being that we've only signed to one class, you recruit big, and you obviously lift to get stronger. I mentioned earlier, I do think that we're stronger as a team. I think the kids really feel that way. We can see it in a few players out there where they're getting more movement, and they're able to come out of their hips, roll their hips, a little bit stronger squat and bench and things like that. That's helped with some positions that needed it, but it's hard to just make a person bigger. You got to go recruit and do well in that area. We think we did that in recruiting along the defensive line, but we really didn't answer some questions on the offensive line. So that's being addressed now through recruiting.
Kirby, you talked earlier in the week about, they the team's proving that they can run, but then now it's time to see if they can run and think. How would you rate week one, like maybe 1 to 10, as far as all the mental stuff that gotta be important?
Well, I'm not gonna get into a 1 to 10 scale. I think it's hard to do because it's kind of moving parts. There's a lot of parts there that's hot out there for a lot of the guys, and then being able to push through that. And we told them over and over, they can't let the heat slow the rain. They can't let the heat slow the heart, and they got to push through. Now I do think that our leadership group and some of the leaders on the team are trying to lead everybody. But as far as the number 1 to 10, it's not everywhere you want it to be as a coach. If you think you've got a 10, then you got problems.
Back to Coach Chaney, how encouraged were you with what he was able to do last year after losing probably one of the best running backs in the country?
Yeah, I didn't even realize that at the time because it was in a different world, thinking about different things and focusing on the season that I was coaching. I didn't find that out until I went kind of on the recruiting of the offensive coordinator position, calling around. And once I realized that, it made it more attractive to say, here's a guy that lost his leading rusher, one of the best rushers in the country, and was still able to be productive with a new quarterback. So that was a great asset, knowing that the backs that we're going to constantly have here at the University of Georgia are going to be good backs. And he's got a really good track record with that. And I've always felt like the diversity is what I like the most. I can still remember playing them in Tennessee with Ray and 3 really good wideouts. They didn't have a back at the time, and they threw it all over the yard. They came in Summer State and put up 50-something or 40-something points, throwing it around. So, I mean, he's done both, and I like to think that we're going to be versatile enough to get really good wideouts and really good running backs. And he's used both, so I thought he did a great job last year at Pitt, losing the back and still sustaining it.
Coach, I don't know how much you can get into it, but can you talk about your relationship with Maurice Smith at Alabama? And, philosophically, do you feel transfer rules should apply differently to graduate transfers as opposed to undergrad transfers?
Yeah, I can't speak much about Mo's situation because he's a recruited prospective student athlete. So, I can obviously comment that we're recruiting Mo and he's a prospective student athlete. But as to the graduate transfer deal, I think that every young man that we want to bring here to the University of Georgia, we want them to graduate from this place. And if they have an opportunity to go to graduate school at another place, I certainly think that that's something we're going to let them do and have an opportunity to go once they graduate. I think that's important to know.
Even if that's another SEC school.
Absolutely.
Kirby, in regards to Davin Bellman, the